right, episode 98.
98.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting almost
we
to 100.
still haven't narrowed down what we're going to do for 100.
We have not.
It's fine.
The
We got
jury's
time.
out. All right, this is a bottle of old Pulteney. I don't know.
Pulteney.
This is a scotch.
Scotch is whiskey.
You really trying to put us down. Check you out. All right.
You know.
It's a traditional scotch looking bottle. We're going to get into it.
Almost had a joke about
It's got a nice color. I like that.
it from earlier in the kitchen, but I won't add it to this.
Matured in fine oak.
Best that way.
Hand-selected ex-bourbon casks, gently absorbing the distinctive sea
X.
air.
Wait a minute. X.
Ex-bourbon.
Like
No.
Once were
no.
bourbon casks.
There we go.
What are we doing? I missed the joke. Old
formerly known as Twitter.
Pulteney. Ooh, I get you. 12 years old, singular and evocative. A maritime malt. So there's a big sea theme with the old Pulteney, 1826. It says distilled and matured by the sea right on the top.
Comes recommended
Of the
from my
bottle.
man James down at, what do you call it? The Wine Loft?
I don't know.
Oh, is this the one that they put it on board a ship? And the,
No,
and the
that's
movement.
that's the Jefferson
Okay. All right.
whiskey. I know what you're talking about. They age it.
You're right. Right.
On
In
a
barrels
ship.
on a ship. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Tops off. Tops off. Not much.
I didn't even hear that.
I didn't
No,
hear it.
I came right off. The cork looks a little odd, if I'm
It's
being
broken?
honest. No, not broken.
Moldy?
It's just a touch. It's a touch gray. I think it's probably okay,
Good poison?
but it just didn't really. I didn't get a pop when I took the top off. It kind of just fell out.
I mean, it smells okay.
It smells fun. It smells like a scotch. That's all I know.
These glasses are really clean.
That's because I washed them. All right. Well, it's been a few weeks, buddy.
It has. A lot of
let's-
stuff has happened.
So much stuff has happened. Let's talk about Skeleton Crew real quick. Have you watched Skeleton
Yeah.
Crew at all? You caught up on this? This is a
Yeah.
Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Right? You're a Star Wars guy.
I am.
Yeah.
Big. Yeah, I am. I am. I say that with confidence.
I know. I've realized after, and I enjoyed Skeleton Crew, so we'll get into it, but I realized, I think I had a little bit of an epiphany during Skeleton Crew, and that was, and this is kind of a hot take, but I'm not sure that Star Wars needed all that it's gotten.
Nah, didn't.
I don't know that the source material was ever strong enough to justify the chaos that we have ensued.
We've said
after
this before, I
generations.
feel
It's
like.
the Disney thing. It's the Disney
Yes.
machine.
It should have ended.
Yes.
It should have ended a long time ago, I think. With that said,
I feel like we should just get a new trilogy every 15 years, maybe, and then that's it.
or it could just be over.
Or nah, they'll never.
I don't know that what I'm saying is, like, I'm not sure that it ever was so good that it justified existing in a new form all the time forever.
I think the issue with Star Wars is so much got out of the gate back in like the early 2000s and the 90s with everything being canon and big money cash grabs that when Disney acquired it, they were like, all right, now we got to kind of do damage control. So how do we honor the lore of all of the content that's out in the stratosphere
Yes.
and kind of streamline it, which led us to Disney now kind of like doing the Disney thing, making it family friendly and fun,
Sure.
and still,
much.
yeah, and
It's too much.
it's just too much.
It's too much.
Yeah,
But enough of that. So, Skeleton Crew,
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
What would Jude Law fan?
Now, of all the Star Wars shows, which I think you've seen them all,
Yeah,
where would you rank this?
low.
Low. Interesting.
Wasn't that fun?
Low.
The kids were fine. I don't need, and this could just be me, being a grouchy millennial,
man.
but Oscar the Grouch. But I don't need you to kitty up my stuff.
I thought it was a little too young.
Yeah, it was very young.
It was made for a generation that was, I think, a touch too young.
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah, it wasn't for me.
It was like, I felt like they were trying to maybe capture some of like the Stranger Things magic in some of
Yeah,
what they were
that's what
doing.
yeah.
But I think the casting fell far short of that. I don't think any of the kids were
I wasn't blown
all
away by
that
the kids.
compelling,
Yeah.
especially the lead, the little boy, not to, ruin his career. But
Cute kid, but
he was the weakest of all of the four.
Yeah. Even the elephant boy
was significantly better than him, I thought.
He had his moments.
Did not.
None of it really put me over where I was excited to get to the next episode.
It was well made, I thought, though. For what it's worth. Like, I think it looked very good. I think they did a great job.
The Star Wars presentation.
Yes, it was very
well presented.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much from that perspective. And
I think
I wanted to like it a lot more than I did.
I think, and that's where I get caught up in a lot of the Disney Star Wars stuff is they still do a really, really, really good job at making sure that when you're watching a Star Wars property, you remember you're in a galaxy far, far away.
Sure.
Even as corny as the Big Bad Wolf character looked, he still looked like he was in a galaxy far, far away, like in that Star Wars context.
Yeah, I think they could have done better there. It was a little too goofy for me. There were some weird choices with the show, I thought. His character was one of them.
I really enjoyed the droid being a pirate, though. I enjoyed the whole pirate theme.
There was a lot of fun aspects to it, yes.
But as far as a story, I wasn't
short, though, for me.
I wasn't blown away by it.
All right, let's run through a couple more. I have a pretty extensive watch list, which I threw up here on the screen.
You do.
Let's see if you have...
I've hit a few of those.
Let's see if you've hit any of these. We'll avoid ones that we haven't overlapped on. Any Love is Blind?
No, totally forgot.
In the household?
I kind of forgot about it.
I
saw it flash up the other day, but I haven't watched
guys.
it.
All of the internet is talking about Love is Blind right now.
Are we in like 8 episodes in or 7 episodes in, something like that?
Yes, the first batch was released, which was the Pods, the series of Pods and dating, and then they did a second batch, which was them on their little vacation, the mini moon kind of thing that they do.
Okay.
It's incredible that there's been 8 seasons of it so far.
Oh, well, there's spin-offs. They have them in different countries.
Understand that there's spin-offs, but just of the Netflix Love is Blind, it says 8 seasons here.
I think once you get the formula for it down, I think the cost of creating it is very low in contrast to a lot of other shows that they have, and the amount of content that you pull out of it is extensive. You get so much bang for your buck on a production, from a production perspective. And
it's still Nick Lachey, right?
It is, yeah. Well, he does the U.S. version. I don't think he's done any of the other ones. But that whole world, that whole thing is very successful for Netflix.
They're killing it. I mean, it's a millennial lovejoy. Like they love not millennial. I'm sorry, the Gen Z lovejoy. Like that this is their they loved it. This is their Jersey Shore. They are all about catfish and falling in love with people you've never seen and having relationships that don't really exist until it actually exists. Like this is what they've built their culture on. So yeah.
I'm gonna need you guys.
I just think it's stupid.
I'm gonna need you guys to get a little caught up on that.
I'll watch a little bit of it.
You gotta catch a little bit of it. You can skip some of the earlier episodes.
It's a harmless background thing me and my wife can put on.
You gotta catch a little bit of that. We're gonna hold off on Severance for a little bit because that's obviously going to be a packed conversation.
Man. So good.
Yellow Jackets season 3 is back. Were you a Yellow Jackets fan to begin with?
No, it was a book, right?
I don't know that it was a book. It's a Showtime.
I'm thinking Lord of the Flies.
I don't think that it's a book.
Yellow Jackets they were on the plane and it crashed.
The soccer team, the girls' soccer team,
and they had to do. It's based off of Lord of the Flies, kind of, right?
I mean, maybe there are.
It's like similarities there.
Concepts that overlap, but I don't think that it is a.
I could be talking about.
I don't think that it correlates.
I'm right.
Completely throughout.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In 2017, Warner Brothers announced an all-female film adaptation of Lord of the Flies.
Here we go. Yeah. I read that book.
A what? Wait a minute.
An all-female film adaptation.
Yeah, but that's not Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets is a TV show. I know. I need you to get to the.
I know. But get back to me here.
But also, this didn't turn
with that thought in mind. She conceived the idea for the series
Yellow Jackets
as a metaphor for teenage hierarchy. Yes, but it was kind of originated as a movie pitch.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
But you don't watch any of it.
I caught some of the first season. Didn't catch me. I just kind of wasn't.
You didn't like any of it.
Wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
It's kind of like a.
It's a girly.
It's kind of like a white show, I think, maybe.
I don't know. I didn't it didn't catch me.
Nothing.
Teenage girls. It's a teenage girl show.
Yeah,
And
but
white.
I enjoy it.
It's a white teenage girl.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it has more maybe overlaps there. There's definitely like the nostalgia
nothing,
piece.
Nothing for me. Like I just was like, all right. Chanel enjoyed it. She watched it. That's how
but she likes it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wrong. It's not a white show.
She's, she watched it. She's watching season 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need her on that. I need her on.
You want to call her?
No, we don't need to
call her.
bother your wife. I'm just saying.
She'll answer for you. She hates me.
Somebody watches this around here. All right, White Lotus.
Yeah.
You watch White Lotus?
Yeah.
You're watching season 3?
Yeah.
You're caught up on season 3?
Yes.
Enjoying season
Enjoying
3.
it.
Enjoying it a lot. It has the highest rating of all 3 seasons.
I do have a few
Season
takeaways.
3. Josh is smiling. Are you watching White Lotus? No, not at all.
not
He's
at
just
all.
excited to be here.
And Chanel had to point this out to me. I'm not a credits person, right? Like opening scenes, credits, music, like none of that bothers me. I feel like that's my time. Like that's a countdown subconsciously for me to like get ready. Right. And commercials, like she hates all that stuff. Like when you get the skip intro, she's like, press it. And I'm like, nah. Like let it go. I know that way. I know I have 42 seconds to get everything.
Like some lead time.
Right. I can sit down and be ready.
Sure.
And she's like, nah, let's get right into it. So when it came on, she was like, this isn't the music.
No.
And I was like,
It's not.
I never even noticed because it's not a thing of me enjoying it. I just like the lead up time, like you said.
To provide some context, season 2 has a very, very viral intro theme
Yeah, it's very
song
distinct. Yeah.
that really popped. And season 1 had a very similar, largely similar theme song. I don't recall if season 1 was as like
Nah, it wasn't.
I don't think the theme song was as
popular.
But they modified it and tweaked it some, and it
is to match the
really
Asian
popped off for
theme,
season 2.
And it's different.
Everybody was expecting that would return. It's kind of a staple of the show.
Yeah.
And it's obviously been
It's a little different.
It's significantly different. I mean, it's a 180.
So now that she pointed that out to me, I'm just in agony every time I hear it. And I'm like, you didn't have to do that to me.
What, ruin the theme song?
Yeah. Because now I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Because I don't like it now. I never paid attention to the music and now I'm like, but that's my only takeaway other than that. I think Walter Goggins, my guy, man, he does it for the sport. He's
very good. He's definitely like a fan. He's the fan favorite of the show for me.
Everything he's in the past couple of years, he's just been like the standout from what's the church show with Danny McBride, Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous Gemstones, yeah. He was in Vice
Principals, Fallout. This, it's
his renaissance. It
yeah,
truly
man.
is.
The Walter.
It truly is.
What? Who had one not too long ago? Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage had one. Yes,
he had one.
Matthew McConaughey kind of set this whole thing off.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to. Pedro Pascal had his moment. Everybody lately has been kind of finding their rhythm.
And now Walter Goggins is getting his. And he had a quote where when they're gearing up to do Fallout season 2, and they were just like, during the prosthetics or everything, he was like, "No, man, I love this shit. Like I do it for the game." I was like,
"Yeah,
you can't find a more dedicated actor. Like I don't care what it is, what genre. You talk about range." Walter Goggins got range, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, I do find him a little less compelling in White Lotus so far.
Oh, I don't think his character has hit the stride yet.
I'm hoping that it opens up quite a bit. I thought to be fair, episode 1 and 2 were very boring and very slow.
I think it was
it's a slow burn,
yeah.
And we're obviously setting things up. I get that. I just felt like the cast and the characters just didn't captivate me as much as maybe season 2 did.
Yeah, season 1 kind of got jumped right out of the gate, and season 2 we got prostitutes who are like in the main character circle. This one, outside of the first scene in episode 1, nothing is really that captivating. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger's son is pretty. I like the character's a douche, but I enjoy when he's on the screen.
It's very creepy, very weird.
Very bro-y.
Odd family.
I hate a bro, but he's kind of fun. So,
all right. Well, carrying on, just burning right through these.
American Murder. That's on HBO, right?
American Murder. Gabby Petito. No, this is a Netflix thing. This is a American Murder. This
I
is
haven't
a
watched a good
situation. True crime
documentary in a minute. You're a true crime boy. I haven't.
I do make my way through the true crime series.
I need to get a good one. I'll
what
get
that
into
is.
this one. Me and Chanel. Last one we watched was the young lady who was portraying herself as a child.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that called?
there was a few of these.
She had like 3 different. I
I
don't know if
there's a few cases of this.
Yeah, she came over. They adopted her from, I want to say, there's a Middle Eastern country. I don't know the country of origin. And
The Curious Case of Natalia Grace.
Natalia. Yeah.
The Google search there was documentary woman adopted fake child.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they got her over here.
And nobody knew how old she was.
Right,
A
'cause she
big
didn't have
piece
documents.
of that. A big piece of that story is that she is tiny.
And they went to like give her a bath, and the father was like, "I'm not doing this. She's got a fucking bush. Like she's supposed to be.
It got out of hand.
She's supposed to be 9." And he was like, "Nah, this is not it."
It got out of hand. They got out of hand really
Yeah,
fast.
we got out of hand really quick.
I'll tell you what, dude. that series, I feel like there's a couple of series that track her story.
Yeah, there's a few different
It
ones.
got super chaotic.
Yeah, really fast, really bad.
They were leaving no meat on the bones with that story.
But not to take away from this one. I was just saying it's the last one I watched.
Yeah, no. American Murder, Gabby Petito is on Netflix. I think it's 3 parts. Pretty quick watch. This was a few years ago. I think it was like 2022.
What happened to her?
Road trip with the boyfriend.
That's why the name stands out.
Yeah,
That's
they
right.
were-
And then
Yeah.
he drove back to Florida and then disappeared himself.
Where's she?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Sure you
Yep.
do.
Pretty interesting case, all in all. I would recommend a watch if you're into the true crime thing. It is. It's not super extensive. It moves pretty quick. It was kind of an open and shut case, to be honest.
Right.
I mean,
Because he did it, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not to give it away for anybody,
No,
but like,
yeah, no,
it's public knowledge that he did it.
Well, yes, and it wasn't much of a mystery that he did it, even like in the beginning and early on. It was just a series of events.
Like how he
the
was,
two of them kind of creating this van vlog lifestyle thing. The idea was that they were going to live off of that. So they're driving all over the United States, doing weird stuff. And
weird stuff.
she disappears, and he shows up at his parents' house back in Florida like 4 or 5 days later with the van. She's missing. The parents get like lawyers involved, and like they basically hide him, and he disappears. Everybody is assuming that he killed her, but won't reveal where the body is. And then he slips out in the middle of the night. He disappears. And then there's a giant manhunt for him.
What an idiot.
And they find him like a month later, and he offed himself. But the series of events is really what the show is about. Not even necessarily about each one of them as much independently, just because it was just kind of a wild series of events. But speaking of true crime, it's not on my list.
What?
I forgot to add it. The Diddy documentary.
I keep seeing.
You didn't watch the Diddy documentary?
I can't bring myself to watch it. I can't.
I don't know how we can do this show. What are you watching?
I'm watching White Lotus
Okay.
and other stuff.
And Skeleton Crew.
And Skeleton.
And Skeleton Crew. All right, great. We'll move on.
I'm very much a child when it comes to my content.
I need to be able to. Okay, well,
I get into this debate all the time, which I can't watch things that are like. I just feel like my reality is already so daunting. I get into a world of fantasy when I'm watching like TV. I can't watch
You
it.
just don't want to fantasize Diddy.
Yeah, nah, that's not what. He's already ruined. My music is already ruined now because he likes what he does. So
it's interesting. It's an interesting.
What are the takeaways? And maybe this will drive me to give it a watch.
It's kind of odd a little bit just because there's so much of this case that is current and ongoing. So the documentary really, which I think is like 5 parts, and it really talks about kind of his rise to power and fame.
Yeah.
Really. And essentially all of the kind of, I guess, allegations, signs of whatever, kind of along the way. Because he didn't just, become this person overnight. No, this is, I was streaming it on HBO Max, I want to say, but it's not an HBO Max show. It's like, you know how HBO Max is, like everything in the
It's
world's
very
on there
weird.
now.
And they're about to go through another rebrand.
I hope not. But yeah, I think Discovery maybe has it on their thing.
It's also on Apple TV Plus.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. HBO Max has it. It's floating around. But
It keeps popping up for me. And I'd much rather watch like Batman Begins.
he had a tough past as far as some allegations are concerned.
The fall of Diddy.
Yeah, the fall of Diddy.
Yo, there's so many. Who is Luigi Mangione? The Curious Case of
Well, we all know who Luigi is.
Meth Storm, Chris Brown, a history of there's a lot of.
But by the time you get to like the 5th episode, they kind of they get to his arrest and they kind of get to what's happening now, but they don't really get into what's happening now all that much.
So it's more of like a documentary on
a
Diddy.
little bit. They do get to kind of in the last episode, they have somebody on that was like worked for him as kind of like a support role or management role, like lifestyle management or something like that. Like basically was just like helping him like do stuff throughout the day. And he kind of speaks to some of the allegations and some of the things that were going on, but there's really no big like gotcha moment or anything like that.
Did I ever tell you
it's a historical piece more than anything.
about the interview I had at Bad Boy Worldwide?
No.
It was so weird.
I feel like you were a part of the Diddy ring.
No.
You want to tell us something? You want to speak to us here on camera? We can
What
have,
did Dave Chappelle say?
our own fall of Diddy.
What did he say? He said when he found out all his friends were at the orgies and he wasn't invited is when he found out he was ugly.
No, I never heard that.
Yeah,
shit.
he did. That was his SNL bit.
Missed it.
Yeah, no, I had an interview for kind of like a paid internship back in like the early 2000 teens. I'd say like 2012, 2013 in New York. And like, yeah, I think that over his company has all these companies, but he has one company that like is the management team for all the companies, like Bad Boy, Ciroc, whatever, like Bad Boy Worldwide, I think is like the film company. And then like Blue Flame Media is like where his executives, those are the people, like his executive team.
Yeah.
And I had an interview for that company.
What was your role going to be?
It was just like administrative intern. Like it was paid though. Yeah.
That's who was at the parties.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the people
Yeah.
who are booking all of the baby oil and shit.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
They're
Yes.
going to go buy
The
it.
buyers,
They're-
so to
yeah,
speak.
right. And
So did they test you on any of those like acquisition skills? Did they send you to a Walgreens or anything?
it was a very it's one of those things where
clock your runtime? What did they do?
we have all had the privilege.
His grip strength.
Yeah.
Wet and dry.
They got to see like
Did they grease you up and try to catch you? What'd they do?
It's all right. So I was gonna say like we've had the privilege of working for Apple for a long time.
It's the biggest
And-
privilege of all.
right? And there are a lot of people out there that just want to work for Apple just because of what like the name,
Sure.
right? And like, you know, for me, it was just like, yeah, they're paying well, so I'm gonna go work here. And you know, sometimes, and you know, I'm kind of a nerd, whatever. And then there are other people who we've worked with who have absolutely no technical knowledge, and they work here just because they're like, you know, I want to work for something that is associated with greatness. And so in the interview, I realized that all of the people who work here are here just because they want to be close to Diddy. And I'm just like, maybe this is my break where I get a substantial industry job and can like really nail home working in this industry. And these people really turned me off from like wanting to do that. And the interview was great. And they even offered it to me and I declined it because I was so turned off from like the atmosphere of the people. And like, it's like you go in there and there's just TV screens all over the place with like Diddy commercials. Like this is weird. Like,
Sounds about right.
yeah, it wasn't fun.
Checks out.
Yeah. But nah, it was I mean, it was standard, but it was weird.
You heard it here first, folks.
But I
Courtney
didn't
is a
buy
part
any
of the Diddy.
I didn't buy any baby oil or maybe I don't know if stock in baby oil was really popping
Did you
that
not?
back then.
I don't know.
I'm still stuck on baby oil though. Like why baby oil?
Because it's slippery. What?
I guess.
I
yeah.
mean, you've dealt with baby
Right?
oil, right?
I mean, yeah.
Slipping and sliding.
Yeah, sure. I don't
think you like the name.
know if I've ever slipped and slid on baby oil.
I think you probably haven't dealt with it in enough quantity like he was.
That's a lot. Why would you do that? You've done that?
No.
Oh,
No. Well, I'm just saying, like, it,
That's some real kinky shit.
they were having like big parties and they were all getting
Lathered up.
oiled up.
Oiled up.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I don't even like being that moisturized. Like that. Like I like lotion.
I don't think they were doing it for moisturizing.
I don't. That's too much, man. How do you
I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't there. You were. You could tell us.
stop? I was not there.
Sitting around acting like baby. I don't even know. What do you even do with baby oil? I have no idea. What do you even use it for?
It
Never
does
seen
sound.
it before.
I do sound like I was like I'm trying to like put off like I wasn't there.
I was. There was somebody who was making the joke about that. How like there was so many people were at these parties, but yet nobody was ever at these parties. Like every time someone's
Right,
like, "Oh, I
yeah.
was there. I was at the Diddy thing, but I left by 2 a.m."
Yeah,
and that's when
no.
everything really awful started to happen.
Like come on.
Everybody
Like,
was
come
at the
on.
before party, but nobody was at the after party. but yet
Nobody.
everybody was at the
Nobody
after
was
party.
there past 2 a.m.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what people are
Well,
saying.
if you were, you had to sign an NDA, so
still,
you can't say you were there. You
a
weren't
lot of
there.
people break those NDAs though.
Yeah,
like,
I
that
guess
happens.
I
Like-
guess you could break it now. Like, what's gonna happen to you? Nothing.
All right. Now the Drewski could have been love.
I've got that ready. I need a moment to like where I can just enjoy TV. I haven't had like I've had to cancel like that. You see how crazy my life has been.
What would you like to talk about?
We can talk about Drewski though. I've seen clips. It looks
I
amazing.
know, but I need you to have seen the show in order for us to talk about what happens on it.
You've seen it. Talk about it.
I've watched it. Yes,
Yeah,
I've watched it. It's
I've
like,
seen clips. I haven't seen the whole
It's
thing.
like if you ever remember watching Rock of Love.
Yeah, Rock of Love, Flavor of Love. It's
Yes,
nonsense.
It's those shows. It's those shows, but to the next level.
Okay.
Truly,
I love Drewski. I think he's amazing.
it's out of control.
I think he is
It's out of hand. It's quite comical. It's very funny.
he is a character study on like he is like a premier character study. Like his skits,
Yes, very good.
it just nails it home every time. Like
Yes.
I just don't know how he gets such value in the character, but it's always like he just knocks it right out of the park from the football coach to the soccer mom to
Yes.
Chick-fil-A employee. It's just amazing stuff.
It's very good.
So yeah, I'll get into
You got to
Drewski.
check it out, dude.
You sent it to me,
I
and
know. I sent it to everybody. I was trying to get people. I wanted people to enjoy themselves. And here we are. You're stuck watching Skeleton Crew and shows you hate. All right. Well, why don't we get caught up on? Well, you didn't see Scamanda.
What is that?
Never mind. No, moving on. Let's talk about Severance. I know you saw that.
Yeah, definitely saw that.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm watching all
Finally.
kinds of crap though. I don't have my watch list up there though.
I know, but Love After Lockup is generally
back?
all you've got on your. No, I don't know.
You see how excited he was.
Oh God, I love Oh, it's so good.
What
didn't know it was
What
back.
have you been watching that's not on this
Oh,
list?
I didn't know you update. This is not. You're not even sharing this with me.
No. I just pulled this up. I'm not sharing. I created this last week.
I'm watching
when
all
you
kinds of crap. man.
bailed on us.
I'm watching right now.
You acted like you didn't know it was Wednesday.
It is. What's today? I thought today was Thursday.
No,
all
last
day.
week.
Last week,
Yeah, last week when you were like, I didn't know what day it was.
I didn't. You text me, and I didn't even know you texted me. That's how crazy my life's been.
So what did I miss? What's on your watch list?
Paradise.
Okay, everybody's
great.
talking about Paradise.
It's great. It's great.
I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Sterling
on
K.
that.
Brown is
What network is this on?
Hulu,
It's a Hulu show,
but
or
that's
is it
Disney.
streaming
That's
on
Disney
Hulu? Plus.
Plus, basically.
Yes,
It's a
but is
hub
it
on Disney
but
Plus.
Is it
What is the show called?
Is it a
sorry?
Hulu
Paradise.
show? Paradise.
It's a Hulu show, though.
Made by Hulu.
I don't know how that works.
You know how Hulu streams things that they don't make,
yeah,
right?
Hulu.
It's a Hulu show.
Yeah, it's a Hulu
It is a
original.
Hulu. It is a Hulu original.
There we go. That's what.
Which
yeah.
is also not a great thing because Netflix calls them Netflix originals,
And it's
but
not.
they call anything that they have exclusive rights
If
to.
they have the right to. That's
even
what
if
I
they
meant.
bought it from
Yeah.
somebody else.
Correct.
But Hulu
Yes.
is the producer.
Sure. Okay. So
Yeah.
is the season done? We one season in?
No,
Just a couple
I think
episodes.
we got one more episode.
The last episode. The last episode airs March 4th.
Yes, yeah, next week.
Yep.
It's essentially post-apocalyptic, but you don't really, if you don't watch like any of the, they do a great job at the advertisement because you don't really know what any of it is about.
Yeah.
And you watch the full first episode and it just gives you a mind fuck at the end that I don't want to give it away. I mean, I could, it's a show or whatever, but
Yeah, don't give it away.
there's a real mind fuck at the end of the first episode. And you're just like, oh, so this is where we are. Okay. And then you're locked in. There's some filler episodes, of course. It's, it's made for TV, it's drama, but the chunk of it is very, very good, man. Even I'd argue that the last episode that came out Tuesday may be some of the best character work I've seen all year. Very intense episode.
February.
Most
You're
intense.
saying,
Yeah.
You're saying
It is the best of
TV
the
I've
year.
seen this year.
We
watched a lot of TV.
This day is by far the best of the weekdays.
Yes.
This is the best I've ever had.
It's the end. With 2 months of content, might be the best TV I've seen already.
This hour is the best hour of the evening.
Until next week
Right
when
now.
there's another
best thing you've seen in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
Because other than I was gonna make a joke, but no. I'm watching Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 2, which was great this week.
good. Okay. So that's your watch list. Paradise
what else?
and
Paradise,
Spider-Man. I know
Spider-Man.
you saw Captain America.
Yeah, I did see Cap.
Captain
And
America.
the critics were wrong. I was
I
wrong.
don't know that they are. I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews on this.
I was wrong.
A lot of
$200 million
it
first
seems
week, man.
very split to me.
I don't
I
know,
think
man.
it falls off though. I don't think
I'll say this.
this loses money.
I don't think. Yeah, they got to make
It
like
loses
$500 million
money.
to
No one's going to this.
break even, and they scored half of it in the first week, which is a good sign. But I still think that's way too much money for what I saw. Like, you're telling me this was a $500 million movie? Like, okay. Now, all the critiques I had about what I was going to see in our last episode, I was wrong. I was wrong about Anthony Mackie. I was wrong about
Can't be wrong about his spectacles. His goggles are awful.
oh yeah, the suit is not
His
fun to
rec
look at.
specs are terrible.
They did a good job of rectifying and making us be indulged in who the character is, even though we're not fans. No one's ever said, I don't like Anthony Mackie's Falcon. But no one's ever said, man, I love Anthony Mackie's Falcon or Captain America. We've all just kind of been like, I mean,
But
he's
that's changed for you. You're going around telling people that you love Anthony Mackie.
Nah, I
as
just
Captain
think he did a
America.
good job. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give him his props. The movie. And they did a thing where they kind
I'll
of like,
stream it.
they edged us out
I'll stream
in
it.
the in the movie versus with the advertisements. So they advertised the movie way differently than the viewing experience.
Okay.
So
I'll take your word for it.
you'll enjoy it.
I'll give it a pass.
You'll text me like this is like a
I'll
6.
tell you how
Well,
awful
yeah.
it is.
It's like a 7. 6. It's like a strong 6, 7.
I'll say it's like a real mediocre 5.
It's a good outing for the MCU with no like breakout stars and characters.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Few
there are
miss-
some big names in it.
few misses for me story wise. I feel like there was opportunities to include some things that they didn't, but a lot of ground treading they did here, and it was fun. It was fun. It was very fun.
That's good. Glad you enjoyed it.
Very fast paced. Very good.
Still 48% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And those people suck.
I stand by it.
I'm
Just kidding. I'm not saying
79 public score,
I'm in the public.
but
you are in the public. This is true. We'll find out.
here we are.
Jurassic World Rebirth, the trailer has dropped. Did you see this?
Yeah,
You
so
did.
I did.
Yeah. Excited? You're smiling.
It's weird. It's weird because I watched the trailer and then I was like, let me watch a breakdown because I don't really understand like what's happening. And then like New Rockstar is just, I realized, well, I don't watch trailer breakdowns. And is it like a mutant dinosaur person?
Well, there's always weird dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That's a big thing now.
That's the thing where
They
they
always
get
got to
into
put in weird dinosaurs.
a genetically modified T-Rex. But now
Yeah.
this like new thing is even weirder.
Yeah.
It's like
I thought it looked terrible.
It does
I
look
thought it
terrible.
looked awful. It just looks like Jurassic World again.
On
Not anything more compelling. It just looks, I don't know, incredibly awful.
Yeah, it does. It does. They've really tanked the Jurassic World Park
Yeah, dude, they
franchise.
really have. They really have. They are obsessed with making it, and I guess I get it.
Super
It's
sci-fi.
a kids thing,
Yeah.
and they're doubling down on that so hard, and I hate that. Jurassic Park was an adult movie that kids enjoyed.
Yeah, it was
because
still
it had
adult
dinosaurs
movie.
in it. Jurassic World is a kids movie
With
period.
adults in it.
With adults
That's
in it.
it.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Yeah, no,
very
it
odd
sucks.
to me. Not good.
Because the last one had like the
God, it's terrible.
like the all black T-Rex, and he's like, this is the best T-Rex we ever made.
yeah, they're always modifying dinosaurs because they can't. The T-Rex just isn't good enough.
Oh, he was
for
like a
whatever
T-Rex
reason.
raptor hybrid or something.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And
It's
now
so stupid.
this is like a T-Rex raptor human hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish there's some world out there that it exists, but I really
know it
wish
does.
there was like an HBO series that was Jurassic Park, and it was like a prequel of the park being like built.
That'd be a good show.
Like kind of the politics behind getting a park made, the politics behind a park like this with these dinosaurs, like even just like the beginning of
The
developing it and like the first dinosaur that was made,
cloning,
like all of
yeah.
that. Something that is
a Prometheus for Jurassic Park.
yeah, but like not necessarily like the dinosaurs should be like the background characters. Like they should be referenced or seen a few times, but they shouldn't be
The prominent.
the center of it.
You want a political espionage version of Jurassic Park?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
I wouldn't mind following. Let's write this out right now. Okay. Are we going to go with like a reporter? Are we going to go with a security guy? Who are we following? Who's our first person view through this series?
I think John Hammond, like the guy who starts it all.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's from his perspective, but
I like that.
Think
A
of
young
like
John Hammond.
like Succession, but Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like you obviously have this businessman who is extremely incredibly wealthy, who has access to
But we get a young version of him and like his
a
startup.
younger version of him and his startup, and just like again the political landscape of pulling all those pieces together.
Right.
There has to be chaos in designing, building, implementing a park like
Jurassic Park.
like Jurassic Park, right? Like that park.
Is he an alcoholic?
Could be.
Is he a womanizer?
Who knows?
He has to be.
Maybe there's going to be a lot of characters in this.
We gotta
Can't
build
give
up
him
the
everything.
drama for a young John Hammond.
Stick with me. Is he black?
Well, he's got a black wife.
There
There
it
we
is.
go. There we go.
Good call.
Yeah, there we go. It's 2025.
Checks out.
We gotta have a DEI in there.
Checks out. But they're oh man.
Don't say that.
We gotta. We're gonna get defunded. Golly, man.
I was gonna say even all of like the characters that were like all like the side characters that are even in Jurassic Park. The one gentleman that gets eaten by the raptors in the electrical closet.
Him, your boy, blackface boy. What's his name?
I don't know who's black.
Raincoat.
Oh,
We get
yes,
all of these,
yes.
but younger iterations of
correct,
them.
Yes,
We get a young,
like the systems engineers and all that, like the young versions of them.
what's his name? What is his name?
The dude that's smoking the cigarette the whole time.
What is his name? I can't remember his name.
Josh,
God.
come on,
Josh.
Help
That's
us
why you're
out.
here. Give us the original cast, but all of them like
The black guy that was smoking the cigarettes, chain smoking the cigarettes,
Yeah.
the really smart one that was like doing all the
Yeah.
park stuff. He was typing on the keyboard furiously. He knew all the bad stuff that was happening.
Ray Arnold?
Yes.
yeah,
What's his character name?
A young him.
a young
Ray
version
Arnold, yeah.
of Jeff Goldblum. Like we get all these young characters like in there.
I don't even need to be introduced. Here's my like real fantasy.
I'm
dream.
on board for this.
I don't need to be introduced
Ray
to
Arnold.
those. No. I think he could be in it early on. I don't need to be introduced to the main like cast, like the big key players, until I think the whole show however many seasons should literally build up to
The
beginning of Jurassic Park.
How he got all these people involved.
Yeah, and literally the last episode is all of these people showing up on the island just as they do in the beginning of Jurassic Park.
Man. Maybe we should write it.
Or I like the idea of it just being like they're like Alan Grant or whatever, and like you just see them or whatever, and it just like cuts, and that's the end of the series. Like you just see them coming into the park for the very first time, and that's where the movie would pick up, right? It could also be fun where like the last season is the movie, is Jurassic Park,
but from a different perspective. Yeah, just different perspectives and cutscene, like, and they just kind of build on what the first movie was. You build up
like all these seasons to getting the park back online, and like the final season, the big series, like epic finale is just Jurassic Park redone.
Oh, that would be great.
But as like an 8-episode thing.
Yeah. Damn.
And then like throughout all the beginnings, you just kind of like you sprinkle in some of like what is
the original stuff.
Some of the original cast. Like, yeah, like you have all these people, like how did these people become top of list for John
And I don't want to
Hammond?
go into like a whole like Jurassic Park tangent, but like when you go back and watch Jurassic Park, all of the characters are familiar with each other. They all know each other. They all have a past. When Jeff Goldblum's character, when Ian sees Ellie, they already have kind of like some tension there. We already know Alan and Ellie used to bone, right? Like, what was all of the stuff that led to all of them coming back together?
You could expand on some of that stuff, maybe? Sure.
Yeah. And then you get into the science and like how he excavated the mosquito. Like, yeah, man, that would be great.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Make it for adults.
Well, and now they've got your idea and you're going to get no credit.
I know.
Probably.
Or even, Newman, right?
Newman.
His character, like, even because he's obviously an infiltrator, or he's been like sneaking out company secrets.
Right. Yep.
That was like the whole like kind of backstory that was kind of taking place in Jurassic Park.
Man.
Like, how did he go about getting involved with that group?
Yep.
And what is that group's like? Who is that group? What are they trying to do?
Dr.
There's
Henry
so
Wu.
much backstory there.
It is.
That's way more compelling than anything they've done
movies
in
in the
Jurassic World.
90s. Those performances really got you enthralled into like who the characters were. Like, I really want to know more about this character.
That's because I said it earlier, like they made adult movies that like no, they just made adult movies that kids were like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like I remember like Jurassic Park was not for children. And that was part of the fun of it, right? Because you were like a little kid and you were getting to see like this like kind of crazy, scary, violent like a thing.
My grandmother took me to see Jurassic Park, and she was just like, "We cannot sit here in this." I was 10. I was
it's an adult movie.
This is amazing.
But it just was like kids enjoyed it. Jaws, like there's all these movies that were made that way. Indiana Jones, like these are not kids. Nowadays, everything
they make it for kids.
They make it for kids, and then they put adults in it, and they think that that's enough to keep adults interested. And it's not, and I don't even think it's really what kids want, because it's all boring. Like none of it's good anymore. Jurassic World was not.
They reversed it. They make all the cartoons for adults and the movies for the kids now.
Yeah, this is true.
And I'm relegated to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and
weird about this. As you go on talking about it, Spider-Man.
Love so good.
All right,
it's made for adults.
Let's we tear into Severance a little bit.
That's good. We got 15 minutes.
Yeah. Let's tear into Severance. Let's talk about it.
Where you at, Josh?
You caught up?
I am not caught up, but I just haven't seen the most recent one. But you can talk about it. I'll watch it when I get home.
Well,
okay, so you saw.
I sat down to watch it last week and then rewatched the prior week.
Yeah.
And didn't. Yeah.
Oh, so you saw Mark and what's her name? Helly. Saw him bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last season, the last episode you watched was
when Milchick gets his performance review and when they decide to send Helena back in as Helly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Great.
Yes. So I just haven't seen this past Friday's episode.
So some of our theories are playing out
Yeah.
quite well.
Let's lay it out.
And I would say that there's a lot of continued controversy, if you will. I'm actually kind of spiraling a little bit on my theories. I feel like the show has done a very good job of keeping
us at bay.
Like there's just so many things that I wasn't anticipating would become complex that have.
This dog just farted and then looked up at me like, I can't, I'm sorry. You smell terrible. But yeah, the theories.
A good example is the Irv, his relationship and all of that with Christopher Walken, that whole thing. Like
funny.
I didn't put as much stock into that as I think now that it's becoming more meaningful, that whole like dynamic.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to go back and rewatch season 1 and pay closer attention to their relationship because I didn't foresee that being such a pivotal part.
Yeah.
In season 2, but it's obviously
in season 1 you kind of think, well, maybe they just kind of did this so that there would be something to take away from him. Like maybe that's why it was featured as a thing.
Yes.
But now
like it was all just these old guys boning, but no, there's something significant to their relationship and like why. And I don't know. Like part of me wants to think that Christopher Walken's character knows more about the Severance.
Well, that's the new thing now.
Yeah.
Is that
he knows more.
There's likely just more going on there. Both of those individuals, right?
Fields,
like they both have, or I mean, even Irv, right?
Yeah, right.
He has, his background is curious. Like he knows more than he was alluding to, and his role in the Lumen thing is probably goes back further and is more complex than we know.
And Christopher Walken's farewell, I kind of thought that was interesting in the first season, his farewell video that he makes. Yeah. Like, even though I don't know any of you, like he just kind of, it seems very flippant, but also like you did good, but I have no clue. Like, is it really the case?
Like he's putting on.
Yes, right.
Like after watching the last episode, I had a thought that maybe he's not severed. Maybe he knows exactly what's going on and he's just playing his part as like a sleeper.
Yeah. The question is like, obviously who it has been for a while, who is and is not severed.
Right. Yeah.
And there are, so I don't know. I don't have answers, but
Helly is shaping up to be a pretty good villain for this season.
Yes, but I mean,
well, not Helly. Helena.
Yeah.
Yes, but again, even her character is like getting very interesting.
She's getting worked
without revealing what happened in the last episode. Like she's doing very odd things that I didn't fully appreciate. Even in season 1, you
talking about what she did the last episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there's just things that I don't know.
For her to always be under the guise of Lumen,
I was not paying attention to.
Right, like she's always with like that big guy who's like her bodyguard.
Yeah, it seems like he's like Russian or Georgian or like something.
He did Milchek's
performance review. Yeah,
for her to always be with him, and I'm not going to give anything away, but for her to not be with him and be where she was.
Another thing that I recently thought about is when Miss Cobell showed up at night when Helena was walking out with the dude to get in the car. Yeah. And she said, well, why don't we go talk to the board together? And she got halfway over, seemingly saw the guy, and then turned around and left. And we haven't seen her since then. Maybe we did in this most recent episode. I don't know. But we don't really know why she decided to.
She knows something and she hasn't been seen since, which is interesting. She's gonna have a redeeming arc. At some point, they do it for all characters, but I think she'll return at some point.
Yeah, still quite a few episodes left. Yeah. I think it's a 10-episode season.
It is.
Yeah. So
poor Mark, man. He's just going through it this season.
Yeah. It's a tough time. Well, let's talk about this bottle of
we didn't talk about the
old Pulteney. Pulteney.
It's really good.
It's not Italian.
Pulteney. Gabby Pratico.
Yeah. This is a very easy drinking scotch.
I enjoy it, man.
I would, I don't know what to say. I don't get any notes of the sea thing of like, it's not reminding me of the ocean.
Yeah, it said that one of the tasting notes was sea salt.
Yeah.
Where's that window?
Yeah.
Citrus, vanilla,
doesn't really.
briny, and honey.
I get the vanilla. I get the honey. I don't get a lot of the saltiness. Guess I should have had some water.
It's an approachable Scotch. It is not super.
It's not a Glenlivet or.
It's not super like assertive on the front end or aggressive. The flavors are nice. It's
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's not. It doesn't blow me away as far as taste. It's not a Macallan. It's not. It's not a Glenlivet.
You gotta be a Scotch boy, But it's a nice. If it's a cold night.
This is specifically for Scotch drinkers, where the
well.
nicer stuff is. Oh, this is a Scotch, like you wouldn't know. This tastes like a Scotch, and I'm not mad at it.
The Maritime Malt.
Can I just show you their website just for a second?
Carry on.
This is great, and nobody at home is going to be able to see this, but so the bottle then follows you. It jumps out of the photo and then follows you. Hold on, and then it goes into a box.
That's cool.
My God.
That's very cool.
That's dope.
Fantastic.
Is it Pulteney.com? Is it on the box?
Oldpulteney.com.
This is 12 years old.
Somebody did a good job.
40%. The fifth.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
This was how much was this? $55.
Pretty good deal.
The website is all aimed at the UK market, which is weird.
Scotland.
And the suggested retail is £38, which is about $49.
That's after tax. It was 55. So yeah. All right.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up on this one and move on out.